In January of 2013, a young woman named Elisa Lam checked into a hotel in downtown Los Angeles. She was only 21 years old, a college student from Canada, traveling alone through California. She wanted adventure, new experiences, and a chance to see the world on her own terms. She chose to stay at the Cecil Hotel, a building with a long and dark history. The hotel had once been a glamorous place back in the 1920s, but by the 1980s and 1990s, it had developed a reputation for crime, drugs, and even connections to serial killers who had stayed there. Still, Elisa likely didn't know much about its reputation. To her, it was just another stop on her trip. For the first few days, Elisa called her parents back in Vancouver every day to let them know she was safe. But on January 31, 2013, she didn't call. Her parents grew worried. Elisa wasn't the kind of daughter to suddenly go silent. They called the Los Angeles Police Department, and soon a missing persons case was opened. A few days later, police searched the Cecil Hotel. They didn't find Elisa, but they did find something strange. Security cameras had caught her on video in the hotel's elevator. This footage would become one of the most famous and disturbing videos on the internet. In the video, Elisa steps into the elevator wearing a red hoodie and shorts. She presses several buttons and waits. The elevator doors don't close. She leans out, looking both ways down the hallway, as if someone is there. Then she ducks back inside, presses more buttons, and hides in the corner like she's frightened. At one point, she steps out, makes strange hand movements, almost like she's talking to someone or reacting to something only she can see. After a couple of minutes, she walks away. The elevator doors finally close, but Elisa is gone. This video went viral. Millions of people around the world watched it. Some thought she was being followed. Others believed she was under the influence of drugs. And some even thought something supernatural was at place. 2 weeks later, guests at the hotel began to complain about the water. They said the water pressure was low, and the water that came out of the taps had a strange taste and color. Hotel staff went to the roof to check the water tanks. When they opened one of the tanks, they made a horrifying discovery. Inside was the body of Elisa Lam. She had been missing for 19 days. The discovery shocked the public and only made the case more mysterious. How did Elisa get into the water tank? The tanks were large, heavy, and difficult to access. Hotel staff said the roof was locked and alarmed, and the tanks themselves required climbing a ladder and lifting a heavy lid. Police investigated. An autopsy revealed no signs of trauma, sexual assault, or foul play. Toxicology tests showed Elisa had medication in her system for bipolar disorder, but no illegal drugs. The coroner ruled her death an accidental drowning, connected to her mental health condition. But many people weren't satisfied with that answer. The case sparked endless theories. Some believed Elisa was murdered, and her killer placed her in the water tank. But no evidence of a struggle or attack was found. Others thought she may have been experiencing a severe mental health episode that caused her to act strangely and end up on the roof. But again, how could she access the tank so easily? The strange behavior in the elevator footage only fueled speculation. Was she hallucinating? Was someone following her off camera? Or was something darker happening inside the hotel? Conspiracy theories even tied her death to the hotel's history of violence and crime. The Cecil Hotel had once housed serial killers like Richard Ramirez, also known as the Night Stalker, and Jack Unterweger, another convicted killer. Could the building itself hold some kind of curse? In the end, no clear answers were ever found. The official story remains that Elisa Lam died by accidental drowning, her mental health struggles playing a role in the tragedy. But to this day, people still debate what really happened. Was it just a heartbreaking accident? Or was there more to the story that was never revealed? What we do know is this. Elisa Lam was a bright young woman with hopes, dreams, and a family who loved her. Her story became more than just a case file. It became a global mystery that captured the imagination of millions. The Cecil Hotel closed in 2017, and though it's set to reopen under new management, it will always be remembered as the place where Elisa's life came to a tragic and mysterious end. True crime stories like this remind us that behind every headline is a real person with a real story. Elisa wasn't just a mystery on the internet. She was a daughter, a student, and a young woman whose life ended far too soon. And that is why the case of Elisa Lam still haunts us to this day. We talk about true crime story every day, so subscribe to this channel and don't forget to comment your thoughts.